Hey everyone, this is Jennifer Beamer, owner-operator of Actually Diet Art by Science, and this is video number 2 in the series where I talk about how to build up the bumps on your bobbin as you're spinning with your wheel. And this is going to be exceptionally important for those who are spinning lace weight yarn because the yarn can topple over a little bit easier than a thicker yarn, and it's more of a problem with thinner yarn than thicker yarn. So I'm just going to do some example spinning here. This is a blend of merino, which is mostly merino, and a little bit of Tessa silk, and then I added a little bit of icicle nylon, which is just like a shiny faux fiber. It's just made out of plastic, and just a touch of Angelina, which is a soft metallic fiber, just to add a little bit more glam to this yarn. Now, as I said in the first video, when you build this up, you have to do it in small increments. And the reason being is, of course, when you're building a wall, you don't want to build the bricks one right on top of the other. You want to either stagger them, or if you're building a really big wall, you want the bottom of it to be a little bit wider than the top part of it, so it can support the weight. As I'm spinning this, there's still tension as the yarn is being wrapped onto the bobbin. So you can kind of see maybe right here, bring the camera a little closer, and then give me a second while I focus this. You can kind of see there's a little bit of slippage right in this little spot. You can kind of see that right there. Now, to avoid this, you need to just do what we did in the beginning, which basically is, as you add more yarn, you want them to build up slowly and evenly. As you can kind of see on this part here, it's not built up as much as it is over here, but that's okay because there's already a nice transition from here to here, so it's not like I built up this huge spot in the middle here and then on either side it's really low. That could result in some problems. Mostly the yarn won't be under tension then, and it might get stuck underneath something and you might have to stop and fix it, or it might even break. This is pretty thin stuff we're talking about. So when you've spun enough, go to the next one and then keep spinning. Now, I have hooks. Some people have sort of a slider, and that's probably a little bit better in my opinion for managing how you build up the lace yarn on your bobbin, because you can make very precise spots when you do that. Because you can see here with the bumps, right, they're just pretty consistently one spot or the other. Now, if I had a sliding hook instead of all these stationary ones, I could, make smaller jumps between so that the bumps would be smaller and there would be less of a valley situation like we have here. But part of it is just because this is a stationary set of hooks, there's going to be a little bit of a valley problem. But as long as you're building up each section regularly and you're not letting one section get too tall before moving on to the next one, you'll be just fine, actually. So you just stop whenever you feel like you need to check. And I do that usually by putting my face over here and comparing it with the rest of it. Sometimes you get kind of carried away and this section starts to build up too much. and you might need to undo some of the yarn. This has happened to me. It's not a big deal. I usually just hand wind it off, move the hook, and then hand wind it on in the next section. This isn't optimal because you can already kind of see it's going into this valley area, but it's really not a big deal. If you're going to do small sections, if you're going to do larger sections, what I would suggest is probably just letting it go, and then on the next time you come back through. So let's say this section was built up a lot and I didn't want to move all that yarn over because I was afraid that it was all going to go down in this valley here. What I would do is when I got to the end here and I started heading back this direction, I probably would either skip this section or I wouldn't spin much for this section. I would just try to keep it even with the other ones alongside it as I progressed back this way. So you can do that as well. And that's pretty much it for these videos. If you have any questions or comments, you can post those below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have any suggestions for other videos, you can post them below. And if you want to see what we're up to, you can follow me on Twitter and find me on Facebook. And if you want other tutorials or just reviews, things that I'm working on, you can go to my blog, which is expertlydyed.blogspot.com, and see what's going on there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye!